Another Y food, keeping me hydrated and nourished, and another wife. Not another wife, just the only wife. We are parked up at Matterley Bowl, where we're going to stay the night. I've got to go and register. It's Friday evening. It's the day before the South Downs Way 100. The benefits of van life meant we were able to spend the night before the race less than 100 metres from the start line. We had a brief chat with Loyd before bedtime and woke at 5 a.m. to rice pudding and cooked breakfast. I attempted to hijack Run for Adventure, but Loyd was having none of it. Good morning, everyone. It is the South Downs Way 100 2024. You know that we've done this about 1 billion times before. This is my 5th time, so I get a 5th buckle, a 500 buckle at the end of this if I finish it. But the chances of finishing are very small because I have an injury which I sustained at the Cape Wrath Ultra. I'm also very tired from 5 days at the Backyard Ultra. So this is not starting out well. We're just going to start, see what happens and see how far we get. Welcome to the South Downs Way 100.
Make your way into the start area. Everybody take 10 steps forward. Don't be shy. 10 steps.
Left my phone in the van 60 seconds before the start of the race, so I've just made it back to the start.
Cheers, Steve. See you in 10 minutes.
Away we go. So a nice walking start. This is about the pace we'll do for the whole race.
Doing really well so far.
Yeah, it's great so far. Victoria was very concerned about my injury and was keeping a close eye on me as I traversed Matterley Bowl for the first time. My leg? I'm only a K in. Back through the start, K and a half in, mile in. You go round a loop basically of Matterley Bowl, and then we do a big wider loop of Matterley Bowl and come out a bit further on the road. All these containers are for a massive festival that happens at Matterley Bowl. 10 kilometres in 1 hour 16 minutes. Nice and comfortable. The leg is holding out so far. Started out very sunny this morning. The clouds are coming over a bit now, so hopefully we'll have a relatively cool morning. Get the first 30-40 miles done in relative shade. I think it is supposed to heat up a bit later on towards the end of the afternoon. But the main thing is the leg is okay at the moment. Yeah, water please. Nearly 10 miles. I'm on sub 20 hour pace, believe it or not. Ridiculous.
Idiot.
Idiot. Right, thanks guys.
Good on, Stephen.
See you later. Right, I've got peanuts and a bit of chocolate. I've filled my water bottles up. We are on our way after the first aid station at 10 miles in. 2 hours for 10 miles, that is sub 20 hour pace. Everyone's going too fast.
Morning, Stephen. Morning, Bruce.
What's your name?
Chris.
How many 100s, Chris?
Including this one, 1.
Best of luck to you. That's the Isle of Wight and the Solent and Southampton and Portsmouth and the whole of the south of England in the background there. You probably see Land's End if you look carefully enough. Whilst my injury wasn't hurting, it was a concern, and I was being very careful not to aggravate it by running too fast or placing my foot at uncomfortable angles on the terrain. Love that little bridge. This meant I was moving a little slower than I would have otherwise liked. If I'd been fit and healthy, the weather and underfoot conditions were perfect for an attempt at a really good time. 20 miles in, 4 hours, 10 minutes. So we've slipped a little bit from sub 20 hour pace. Thankfully, the leg is holding out. At the moment, we're just approaching Butser Hill and the descent into Queen Elizabeth Country Park and aid station number 2 and meeting my wife. So when you decide to do 100 miles tired and injured, the one thing you must do is stick to tried and tested equipment. And so that's why I'm wearing a brand new pair of Hoka road shoes. I've never ever worn road shoes on a trail run before. These are brand new. I mean, they seem to be all right so far. What could possibly go wrong?
I made my way through the second checkpoint at QE Park. The queue at the toilets was far too long, but the latte from the cafe was very welcome.
Got my Y food, meal and a drink replacement food. Link in the description below to get some for yourself. We're not far off a marathon in, and we've got lots of other runners passing us because they're part of a different event. I think there's a half marathon and a 10k, and so we're all wishing each other well done as we go past. Good job, well done. Good job, buddy, well done. Not far off South Harting aid station. Thank you. So this is Harting Down. Beautiful views to the left of us there, and this is a crew stop. It used to be an aid station point, but no longer, but it is a crew point, so I can have a cup of coffee or a cup of tea here. What have I got?
More cake, and we've got some tea.
So if I can take a Red Bull with me. I'll take the cookie.
When I think of the South Downs Way, these are the trails I imagine. Beautiful grassy slopes, soft underfoot, fields and valleys on either side with views stretching for miles in every direction. Just after Harting Down, 25 miles in, is a perfect example, and it really is worth taking a moment to appreciate the surroundings and how fortunate we are to be able to do these things.
6 hours and 54 minutes. Just hit 50k, which is 31 miles. 4 miles to go to Cocking. We're just climbing up now onto the ridge, and then we've got a fairly flat, bit of a monotonous section before we drop down into Cocking and the aid station at 35 miles. The leg is holding out. It's not painful. It's fine. I'm feeling quite tired, but you know, that's to be expected. Loyd is about 3 hours ahead. No, I'm not going to catch Loyd. Just going to get my own race done.
It's always a real pleasure and a privilege to meet so many of you out on the course, whether you're supporting, crewing or running. Thank you to everyone who came up and said hi, and I really hope you had a great day out there.
My name's Martin. What we're doing, we're 7.5 hours in, about 33 miles.
Something like that.
Yeah, subscribe to the channel. Love Stephen's work. I'm amazed he's even here, actually.
So how many hundreds have you done?
This is my, including Lakeland, this is 6th, I think.
6, okay. So you know what you're doing?
Yeah. Yet to DNF, which is probably the worst thing I can say.
Oh, yeah, you need to DNF.
GoPro, so. But yeah, I just love these events. Everybody helps.
Yeah.
So supportive.
Have you got a plan for today?
Finish.
Good.
Although I did bring my splits from the last 2 finishes, which is never the greatest idea, is it?
Right, that's always a thing, isn't it? Oh no, I just want to finish,
Yeah,
but I'm about 15 minutes behind my goal pace. So how far away is Horton Farm then? 10 miles. This is 35 miles at Cocking. Another Y food, keeping me hydrated and nourished, and another wife. Not another wife, just the only wife again. I'll go now. Bye. 62 kilometres in, 8.5 hours. It's not hot, but it's like kind of humid-ish. Pretty much perfect running conditions.
Lap 62, 7:27.
Now, it's not uncommon for me to start feeling pretty terrible at this point on the South Downs Way 100. After Cocking aid station, it's notoriously exposed, and more often than not, the heat gets to me, I start to feel nauseous, and with so far still to go, it's usually my first mental low of the day. So far today though, I was still upbeat.
Hi gents, thank you. Stunning views. 9 hours 35 minutes in to the South Downs Way 100 2024. Covered 43 miles, 69 kilometres on my watch. So the next aid station is Horton Farm, which is also a crew point, so I'll see my wife there. I'm feeling okay, you know, actually. My leg is holding out. I'm not yet feeling like I want to fall asleep on the side of the trail, but that is to come. I'm imagining in about 5 hours, I'll be lying down for a little 5-minute snooze on the side of the trail. At the moment, things are okay, which is remarkable, really. And you can see the ridgeline. Basically, you can see all the hills that we're going to follow all the way to the end.
I got to the aid station at Horton Farm, where Victoria met me with a bacon sandwich. After crossing the River Arun, the route heads over the railway through the village of Amberley and then climbs steeply out back up onto the ridge towards the halfway point and beyond to Washington checkpoint at 54 miles.
So we've made it to halfway. 80 kilometres, just over 80 kilometres, 11 hours and 8 minutes. I'm not sure if 24 hours is on. Temperature is fine. I mean, the sun's come out occasionally, but generally it's good. My legs feel okay. My foot is all right. It's not hurting. I do have a rib injury. Like, my water bottle keeps hitting my rib, and that really hurts. And it doesn't, I don't know why it's happening today. Anyway, we're just approaching Kithurst Hill, 6k to Washington. So we'll get sustenance there. So hilariously, I'm about to arrive at Washington aid station, which is the main checkpoint. It's a bit over halfway, 54 miles. But Victoria and my crew are not going to be there. And I have to wait for them. They're going to be about 15 minutes. I have to wait for them because they have my head torch, which I have to leave with from Washington. So can't do anything till they get here. We've got a nice relax, I suppose, at Washington for a bit. Hi buddy, I don't know why I'm still wearing my sunglasses. There's no need. 86 kilometres, 11 hours, 56 minutes. So we're gonna get here before 12 hours, but gonna have a little wait. So it's a hive of activity here, as it always is. Just reaching the top of the climb out of Washington aid station. So we're well over halfway now, 55 miles in, and when we get up to Chanctonbury, it's a nice easy run all the way down to the next aid station at Botolphs. The thing to remember about this section, or this half of the South Downs Way now, is that out of every aid station there is a big climb. So Washington, Botolphs is the next one, and then you've got Saddlescombe Farm, and then Housestein Farm, Southease, Alfriston and Jevington. All of those aid stations all the way to the end. Big climb out. But it's a beautiful evening, gorgeous views, and We are doing okay. I haven't fallen asleep yet. That's the main thing. Rarely do you see Chanctonbury Iron Age Hill Fort in such a beautiful light. Gorgeous evening sunshine here. Chanctonbury Ring just to my left here. And then beautiful views out in the distance. You can see way over there to the Rampion wind farm in the sea. Down to Worthing down there where I live. And I'm on my third bottle of Y Food. If you want to know what that is, it's basically, you know, a lot of people drink Huel, and I used to drink Huel, and there's a lot of athletes sponsored by Huel now. And Y Food is basically like Huel, a meal in a drink, but it's just much tastier than Huel. I promise you, honestly, I've converted from Huel to this because this is tastier. It's a nicer drink. Discount code in the description. And while you're on, look, I'm out here running the South Downs Way 100 on tired, injured legs and a tired brain. That's worth a subscription, isn't it? Come on, subscribe to the channel. Really appreciate it. Trying to get to 40,000 now. 40,000 subscribers would be awesome. So yeah, do click that subscribe button. Much appreciated. Look at the views. Look at the views, man. That's just awesome, isn't it? All the way out to the North Downs. North Downs right over there. And again, you can see the ridge line that we're following. It'll take us all the way to Eastbourne. All those hills there. We're going to go all up all of those. And the shadows are lengthening in the evening sun. It is 7 p.m. now. We are preparing to put head torches on in the next couple of hours, I would have thought.
The next few miles of the South Downs Way are my local trails. These are the trails I run all the time, and I know them very well indeed. From the chalk paths at Chanctonbury to the fields past the pigsties and down to Annington Village and the River Ada. I bumped into Debs at Botolph's aid station and she asked what Cape Wrath Ultra was like.
Brutal but amazing. Yeah. Botolph's, we've got less than 40 miles to go. And this is a new road crossing here, which is nice. 14 hours, 28 minutes. What a beautiful place to hit 100k. We're just walking up the road on the way to Devil's Dyke. I'm really starting to hurt now, but that's understandable after 62 miles. Gorgeous scenery out there as the sun goes down. There's about 3 little lumps to go over to get to Devil's Dyke.
Having fared quite well for the first 60 miles, I was now feeling quite wrecked and a little nauseous as I headed up to meet my wife at the crew point. Once there, I did end up being sick, although if you follow the channel regularly, you'll know that generally that makes me feel a whole lot better. From Devil's Dyke, there's a mile downhill to Saddlescombe Farm, and then an up and over to Pycombe Golf Club. We were into the dark now, and the next 12 miles took me past Clayton Windmills and Ditchling Beacon. It's safe to say that this is almost always a somewhat gruelling link section between a long way still to go and the end is in sight.
Out in the pale light, where dreams come undone, and everyone wants to know how long you can run.
So I've arrived at Housestein Farm, which is 76-ish miles. So 24 miles to go. Less than a marathon. 18 hours, 25 minutes. I am actually shattered. But, interestingly, I've caught Loyd up. So Loyd's not far ahead, he's just leaving Housestein. Hi there. Oh, just want it to be over.
Now, over the bridge,
Thank
and
you.
up to the next aid station.
Thanks a lot.
Another important section to get done from a mental point of view is the ridge between Housestein and Southease. It's mostly all runnable if you still have the strength in your legs. I didn't stop at Southease aid station. I think for the first time ever. I just felt like I needed to get up to my wife at the crew point at Firle Beacon. I was surprised to see glimmers of light even at 3 AM as I climbed the hill out of Southease. Given my lack of sleep over the past few weeks, I had expected sleep deprivation to catch up with me, and sure enough, I crashed out in the van for 7 minutes before making the 4-mile trek down into Alfriston. 5 to 5 in the morning, and we are at Alfriston. I'm going to brave taking my coat off, my hat and my head torch, and climb the last couple of hills. Hi there. Very, very tired. Yeah.
You're looking good.
So this is Alfriston aid station, 9 miles from home. Everybody's shattered, but we're all going to make it from here. No DNFs at Alfriston. No point in faffing around, is there? Let's get going. 22 hours, 53 minutes. 145 kilometres. Last little bit now. 2 climbs, one fairly hefty climb, and then one 3 miles from the end, which it's a climb, but we're so close by then it doesn't matter. But it's this climb now that we need to just get done. Once we've got this climb done, we can really feel like we're heading home. Nearly at the top of this climb, out of Alfriston. Look at that. Beautiful views. 23 hours, 22 minutes. 148k.
Well done today, well done Steve.
Cheers, James. Okay. We go round the church, past Jevington aid station, which we won't go in, and we'll start the final climb up to the trig point, and then it's 3 miles down into Eastbourne. That's Jevington Village Hall, which is the final aid station, but I think if I eat anything else I'll just throw up again, so I'll just manage without until we get to the track. I hope there's some food at the track for me. I'm going to lie down for a long time.
I do feel sorry for the volunteers at Jevington, as hardly anyone ever stops there. But right here, right now, the only thing I can think about is making it up that final climb and down the hill into Eastbourne and the finish line of the South Downs Way 100.
What a beautiful sight that is. The trig point at the top of the final climb.
Right here, right now, 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 right here.
I'm moving as fast as I can. My feet are hurting, quads are hurting. I still feel like I need to be sick as well. Last kilometre. Hiya, Liz. Are you going to run around the track with me? Fantastic. So just about to hit the track. About 500 metres to go. Thank you. Thanks for joining me on the track, Ellis. Here we go. The South Downs Way 100 2024. Finished. They are great poles. Well done you. Thank you very much indeed. So I've completed the South Downs Way 100 5 times, and these days in another marketing exclusive we get a 500 buckle. I mean, it's very nice.
Good, I'm pleased you're happy with it. You've earned it.
I have earned it today.
How many were sub 24?
Do I have to have a photo with?
Yeah, because then it goes on your Google thing at home, and then it appears all around the kitchen. How many of them were sub 24?
2.
That's pretty good.
I'm proud of my 5 finishes, but here's Ken Fansett coming in to complete his 10th South Downs Way 100 and to get his 1,000 miles buckle.
So there was Cape Wrath Ultra, which was quite a long way. That was 2 weeks ago. And then there was the Backyard Ultra, which we commentated on for 5 days straight with minimal sleep. It doesn't really bode well for a good South Downs Way 100. However, against the odds, we got it finished. I'm very, very pleased and very satisfied and very relieved. And my 500 buckle is in my hand, and I'm very pleased about that as well. If you want to watch last year's South Downs Way 100, which I did with Victoria, then click that link just there. Go and watch that. I'll be over there in a second. And I'll see you guys on the start line next time. Bye. What are you doing?
Press the link.
Go on, press video. The link. The link's there. Just yeah, on the side. It's good, isn't it?